Jones, for life. John Arrow, 444, Kuruma Doctor 777, Sir Awesome 6. We're gonna keep it a little brief today and a little bit light as well, due to the fact of the matter is, I won't wake the little mama's up, okay? Because she is sleeping. And I would love to play the music app though right now. She loves beatboxing, but I don't want to risk waking her up. Although the TV's fine if it's on. Anyway, a lot of things have crossed my mind lately, and there are times where you will hear the most silent person is dangerous. Is the most dangerous person, but that's not completely true. It depends on how long you've been silenced. Not silenced, but silent. If you were a person that was running your mouth, telling lies, just to get what you wanted, manipulating, accusing people of things that they didn't actually do to make you look good, as I've said before, you are not the dangerous person. I think the one that you possibly were telling the fibs on may be the more dangerous person, especially if they held their silence for so long, to the point where they're just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna hold you accountable, like I said in the past one. But something proves that one's not dangerous if they're silenced now, because that person is only fallen silent due to the fact of the matter is their own words have always turned to bite them in the ass. An irony of being a prisoner of your past, eh? So, I'm glad I'm not a person that kind of feeds too far into posts. I'm also not that much into violence. I don't choose violence necessarily, no, but I know what it is. Sometimes in life, some people, they don't understand that. They don't get that part because they're always trying to be violent. That's the interesting part of the quiet one. The true one that keeps to themselves. You don't know the conversations that they're having behind closed doors to themselves, who openly admits they'd rather talk to themselves. And not saying they're just thinking out loud. They're like, no, I'm actually talking to me. The one that doesn't hide that, acknowledges and is aware of themselves. A lot of people like to come forward, and it's crazy because even in these situations, some of the ones that have came forward in the past start to protect the one that they had to literally hold accountable, and that person dismissed, ignored, deleted whatever evidence they could to make them look as if the image that they were trying to uphold was going to be tarnished. If you care so much about your reputation, I recommend you choose a truthful one. It's funny because that song really popped in my head. I don't give a damn about your reputation. That's why I don't try to perceive myself as anything other than who I am. The fear that comes is not necessarily, like I said, from the ones who are truly the silence. They've gone through a battle from the one that is now silent, has fallen silent. You don't know the damage you do to a person. And if that person that you're doing that damage to continues to warn you, and continues to warn you, has been warning you for years on end, you should probably stop. You should probably acknowledge yourself and stop trying so hard to not necessarily tear others down, but not use yourself as an example when you know the struggle in which another is going through is a reflection of your actual struggle. And when someone tries to tell you, hey, what you're talking about is something that you used to do yourself. So you need to look at you and be that example. And instead of listening to that person, you cut them off and you dismiss what they're saying. And when they say, dude, I've already told you, you're going to see a life that is reflected in your image, whether that be your past image or an image that you try to run away from, to forget. Even if it's through offsprings or those around you. He going through it. So he feeling that pain. He know what I'm saying. He understands that. No, what's that? You need to stop. No. You don't get the thing just because you want some attention. You wake her up, we gonna have an issue. You better not wake her up. What did you say? No, get down. What did I just say? You better not wake her up. But you're demanding self. Stop. My bad. He hasn't been getting his attention he won't today. Because I'll be busy, unfortunately. But I went out there with him. He wants that attention. But that's another thing too. I will say too, don't neglect, but also don't beg for others' attention. And that's another thing that actually is a perfect example of what I'm saying. See how much others will just beg and beg and beg for your attention, no matter how destructive they get. Separation anxiety is one thing. They don't care who they may wake up. They don't care what they're doing. But see, the difference between them and him, he's a dog. He's a loving creature that doesn't really want to be out there. I'll be honest with you, I don't want him out there either. But right now, I have no choice. That's the sucky part of it. Because I was lied to. Anyway. But beyond that point, these are the things that people don't get to understand or see. My best bet is to close them out, though, because I really don't want him to wake up that baby. He tripping. But, yeah, I mean, he's a me ninja too, but there's another me ninja, okay? And she's sleeping. But, like I said, I don't care about someone's reputation. And how you get your reputation, you need to pay attention to how you got it. Now, some people like to say the most smartest people are the ones that forget a lot. But I think that depends. Because not all intelligent people forget. They really actually don't. The ones that forget are the ones that's not trying to remember. They're not actually intelligent, and it's not due to intelligence. Sometimes it's due to a substance. Sometimes it's due to, like I said, the pain in the memory. Not accountability. Don't want to acknowledge it. All things in which we all must take an account for. Sometimes in life, some just, they don't understand the pain they send to others and the pain they give to others. And when someone is being held, like I said, accountable, they don't want to hear it. But then that's when we get to this point of, it is not another person. How can I say this? Another person does not have to deal with the cycle in which you choose to repeat. That's not their cycle. They don't have to repeat that cycle with you. Your success is on you. You know that. But if this is how it begins, this is how it began last time. Some people do learn from experience, but some people don't. If you constantly telling somebody, yo, karma is a real thing, you're going to get it back. Start healing. Start taking accountability for what you have done. Pay attention. Respect yourself so that way others around you can understand and get that sense, and then they will start to respect others. But on top of respecting yourself, you must respect others too. Now, if you can sit here and say, oh, I do respect everybody, but you're teaching disrespect, and there is no respect that has been learned. And based off of that, that shows me more about you than it shows me about the other person. Because if you are choosing to disrespect, and the ones that you have the ability to teach are being disrespectful upon when they have to take accountability, they're changing the subject, they're doing all of these things, and then when the camel decides that it wants to hop on the back of that situation or that person, I'm going to say that, now they're screaming so they can get help against you. Oh, how the mighty have fallen and turned. Again, history repeating itself. Had all that to say, but now it's crying out for help. And the one person that could protect you the most, you disrespect and dismiss. The one that you are asking for protection from ain't actually protecting you. Tells you, yeah, I'm going to help you, but then doesn't really do nothing on the subject. Full circle moment. Until learned, eh? How many times must one repeat the same thing until they learn? I know this might sound like this is a repetitive thing. My energy is calm right now for several reasons. I really don't want to wake her up, so I'm trying not to be loud. My energy's just calm anyway, though, but I'm more just toned down today. Or maybe I'm like the other days, too. But, yeah, I'll see her head moving. It's gonna. But, like I said, it's full circle moment until something is learned. And it's not on others to be in that cycle for you. And when somebody reaches success, you don't need to pull that person down. And act like they never did anything for you. And they have done more and sacrificed more in the long run that actually messed them over. And it's crazy because I'm going to say something that only a few would actually understand. And I think I've said it before, but I'm not entirely sure. Because I watch my videos back, but I like watch them like once. Sometimes I watch them a few times, but I only watch them sometimes because I already know that energy is just, it's in here, it's embedded in me. But the same people that are the cause of why something didn't happen for you will use that as a way to degrade you, to put you down. And every time that person always trying to find something to put you down to the point where they get everybody to turn on you. And this has happened to me a few times. One of these times, like I said, someone's foot ended up on my neck. And the words, oh, well, that's why you didn't graduate. And I'm just like, interesting. Came from the one that caused the issue's mouth. I have my diploma now. Weird because they were at my graduation. But yet, in my speech for my graduation, which I'm going to record that speech and I'll say it on here once I find it again. But my speech for that graduation, I mentioned exactly why I didn't actually graduate. After that, my life was going good, and then all of a sudden something happened. And then people start saying, oh, well, where were you? You wasn't here and all this stuff, acting like I never did anything. And I'm sitting there just like, this is weird. This is not a Twilight Zone. When did we reach this Twilight Zone? I don't remember being in this space of just turned energy. But then I question, what would make a person do that? But this is something I've seen this person do before. I don't know if you remember my video. If you watched it, if you didn't, that's okay. But I don't know if you remember my video, all y'all having kids, no matter what. And in that video, I state how some people can say they are a single parent, but when you look at the people behind them, they have so many people helping them out. But they will clearly say that they're doing it all by themselves and give no one else credit. And when it comes to single parent, me being a single parent raised kid, I won't take credit away from you at all. However, if I know your situation, I'm just gonna look at you just like, you a single parent where? Because you have so many guardians. It's not about the baby daddy or the baby mama. It's about the fact that you have people here helping you every day, who's literally missing school, who's doing all of these things for you. When you go into your rehabs, when you go into literally, away for a little bit of a while, there's so many things I can say, but it's not my business to pretty much give out too much. But, there's only so much I can say on that. Some of these kids don't deserve the life that they were given, in a sense of by someone who can't acknowledge and be grateful for not just them, for the people around them. It's like until, and this I'm going to say because this kind of means a lot to me in this sense, until, like, there's been parents that have had kids while incarcerated, and that in itself is a tough time. You can go into postpartum, especially if you are the mother or the father, because some men, they do get pregnant. I'm not gonna lie about this, but especially if that is your situation and the family that you have is all packed together to make sure that kid is healthy, living a great and better life until you reach out. And then when you get out, yes, you know that is your kid, but when you try to act like, oh no, ain't nobody doing nothing, ain't nobody doing that, and I'm sitting there just like, if you do this every time and then you say that, well, these are mine, we get that. But you need to understand when somebody's trying to teach you the system in which they have down packed for the kids, so that way you can learn it so they're not thrown off. And every time they go back to the system of their schedule and how to learn respect, just to go be taken out of that constantly and repetitively. And I was told, oh, well, I raised you, I did this and I did that, and it's like, you helped, yes, but we know who did the majority of the work until you were able to. And it's not always who you think. But it's more than likely, especially if you're in the same situation, the person who they belittle the most, the person who they would always say have kids, as if that person's sacrifice to the kids was not enough to represent that. But don't get discouraged in that. Don't. I know it can be hard. And this is for those people that are kind of like that in these situations. Don't get discouraged, because those same people that always saying like that always reach back to you for help. Those same people that literally have that mindset and that behavior will always, and I kid you not, reach back. Or they'll try so hard to bury it and bury it and bury it and get rid of the fact of the matter is that happened due to, there's jealous reasons, there's all kinds of reasons, okay? There's control reasons, there's manipulative reasons, there's all kinds of reasons. But, or they'll be like, oh, I got it, no, I got it. And you say, okay. But you can tell sometimes based off of the children too. Not all of them, because if the child is easily manipulated and all that stuff, like I said before, I'm a person, I can't be bought. Even as a kid, you couldn't buy me. Once I figure out, oh, I have to do this to get that, nah, I'm good. I don't want it. Especially when my mind was able to actually notice it more, and I was just like, if you're gonna do this every time, my answer is no. Then that's when, oh, you mean, oh, you this and you that. Because I said no, because I'm standing up for myself, because I'm not taking your crap anymore. Okay, I'll take that. But remember, that's just your reflection. Mulan said it the best. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Well, although I am an Aryan Virgo looking sun, I am a Capricorn moon and a Taurus rising. Earth reflects, which is interesting, but there is also some water in me as well, in some certain areas that will reflect yourself back to you. I don't necessarily absorb energy too much. But I appreciate all of what I am because I'm very observant. Sometimes I will fall silent, but it's not necessarily a falling of silent. I really keep to myself, so I don't really fall silent. I'm gonna go. Because the best thing for me to do is to walk away from the situation. Because if I say something or somebody says something to me, they are not going to like it, what the outcome is. It's not a sense of running away, ignoring, or dismissing. It's a sense of mess around and find out. My peace of mind is important to me, and I'm tired of repeating myself. So when I reach that point of I'm not going to continuously repeat myself and repeat myself and repeat myself like as if I am a broken record that has been scratched by a key like a car, I am not going to do it. Last time I checked, okay, and I'm only saying this, these two women that I'm about to say, because they really be saying this, okay? There's a few women that say this, okay? But last time I checked, all right, I am not, okay? And I state this, I am not, like my last name is not Underwood, okay? I may carry keys. Did you get it? But nah, I didn't dug my key into the side of that pretty little souped up 4-wheel drive. This ain't even necessarily a cheating situation. But some people, cheating is not necessarily cheating on you with a person. And you ain't even in a relationship with them. It could be platonic, or it could be a sibling. And I'm saying it's not incestual, no. What I mean by this is they're cheating to get where they are. Anyway. Like I said, some people, they'll do anything to get, no, you can have this. They'll bribe, all kinds of stuff. I've seen a lot. Anything for things to go in their favor, even if they gotta change their hair. But see, that's the thing I've noticed in people. If you have to change who you are in order for things to work out for you, one, you're not living in your authentic self. You are willing to manipulate your own self to get what you need. Why would you put yourself in that prison? You're not being true to you. You're doing whatever somebody tell you to do. Because of what? Some people are really gullible. But I'm not exactly sure if that's gullible energy. It's another word for it. There really is another word for it. Gullible is close, but there's another word for it. When it comes to me, we will know. But there really is another word for that. Okay? And that behavior is really not okay. It's not good. It's not something that you want. Influence. There we go. You let whatever you're easily influenced, I should say. And that's the sad thing. You succumb to peer pressure really fast. That's not good. Never let people change who you are, especially if it's not actually for the better. It's just for you to get what you want. Just for you to turn around and literally talk smack on it the whole time. Threaten it. Even give up on it. Because you can't make up your mind. It's interesting. That's why I'm kind of glad that child me is coming back to me more so than it was for a few years. I feel like I lost my child self, to be honest with you. But, cause that person, that kid, that kid, no, not to be messed with. Some people don't get that. But yeah, no, like I said, I've seen a lot of things in my life, and they're all interesting. But before this cuts off, because I feel it might. This is Sean, Surf for Life, Serve Awesomeness, 444 Kuna Matata, 777 Sean Wato, Sean Awesome 6, Sean Ara. Cause I'm Surf for Life, and I'm serving you life. Like yourself, love yourself. Do better by yourself. Don't let people influence you. Don't let people bribe you. Don't let them show you one thing and then you find out you really get another thing. Like I said, you never really know who somebody truly is. And don't take certain things away from others or put them in a cycle and have them have to fix what you've done over and over again. Be careful who you undermine. Because their intentions will never be similar to yours. That's the reason as to why, if you notice, they can actually go by their day and we'll get to the point where they're done talking to you because they're done repeating themselves. Whether that be in your face, online, or whatever. Through the phone, doesn't matter. People could only say things so many times until somebody gets it, but like I said, if you sound like a broken record, I recommend you stop. Because that person clearly don't care and they're not trying to listen. You gotta let life teach them. Their healing is on them, not you. So get to your goals and make life happen, Cap. Catch y'all later. Love you.